Ping pong is having a moment. Instead of spending thousands of dollars on a ping pong table, Orly has a way for you to serve family dinner and play all in the same place. And I'm sorry, but it is pretty fantastic.
It is fantastic. And the reason why, Cameron, when you're saying thousands of dollars,
Yep.
that's because a regular ping pong table, the really brightly colored one with like the wheels and stuff, those are affordable, but they're not as beautiful looking. They can't double as a dining table.
True.
The versions out there that are beautiful wood and modern and actually elevate your decor, those are $3,500 to $10,000.
Absolutely.
Why do I know this?
Because you looked into it. You wanted to get one for your house.
I desperately wanted one.
Oh,
so
man.
bad. So we recently renovated like our courtyard area outside. There's the new renovation.
Beautiful.
I did a whole video on this on my YouTube, which just came out on Friday, so you can see the whole reno. And I'm actually giving that couch away, which is amazing. Right under there, you can see my current small table. And it's a smaller farmhouse table. It works just fine, but it's a perfect space for us to put this big, oversized, beautiful ping pong table that now my backyard has extra activity, more things for people to do. But when I do have a big group of people, I have tons of seating on something that looks beautiful.
It can double as both. It's so good.
I'm so excited.
And like you say, these tables are pretty large. So
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start as far as the size. So what is the typical size of a ping pong table?
9 by 5.
Oh.
9 by 5
There
is
you go.
standard. Yep, 9 by 5 is exactly what you need. So the very cool thing about this is that we kind of came up with a really cool hack to make this really simple, a way that you can use wood and create the 9 by 5 with the least amount of work as possible, which I love because even though I use a lot of power tools, it is still very new for me, and I was able to do this. So,
Amazing. You got started a little bit earlier. Take us through it.
I sure did. So there's all the wood. Now, when you guys head over to the website, you'll see the cut list for everything that you need. But there is my plywood. I got maple plywood, and I've got 1 by 6s. The 1 by 6s are going to act as a brace in order to increase the size of the table because plywood is 4 by 8.
Okay.
So I'm measuring half of the 1 by 6 and marking it on the plywood. That way I've got half on the plywood and half hanging off the plywood. So I drew my line at about 2.5 inches there, and I'm putting wood glue, and now I'm drilling in that piece. These are going to be braces. I've done it on the top and the bottom, and now I move over to my sides so that all 4 sides are going to have 2.5 inches on the plywood and 2.5 inches off the plywood. The wood glue and the screws, all these things are going to be really important to make sure that it all holds together.
Okay.
Now you flip it upside down,
Yep.
and you can see the overlap, right? I've got the other 2.5 inches hanging off the side. So now I'm doing, again, a good amount of wood glue all the way across, little zigzag action, and I'm going to take the other pieces of plywood. So I bought 2 pieces of plywood, one for the main center and one which I cut into 5.5-inch strips. The 5.5-inch strips, when they go all the way around, is going to give me my 9 by 5. It's going to fill in that space that I need. So you're going to clamp it down, drill from underneath so that you don't see any screws from the top, and you're basically creating like an even seam, seaming up the 2 pieces of plywood so that it becomes this really beautiful oversized 9 by 5 in the simplest way. The last thing you have to do is just clean finish your edges. I'm talking like it's fashion, and frankly it kind of is. I'm using a nail gun here, so I'm just lining up. This is a finger joint, but any trim is going to work because it has like a nice rounded edge.
Yep.
Nail gun, which is so satisfying to use. Seems scary, I promise you it's not. A simple pull the trigger and it really pops in. And you always want to do your screws, your nails, everything like maybe 4 inches apart, a good amount of them so the whole thing holds really well. And once it's done, the entire structure of your tabletop is built.
It's built, and by the way, other than the little tiny holes from the nail gun around the outside, no hardware can
Yeah.
be seen on the surface because of the way you build it. So if you follow these instructions, you'll get a beautiful,
Yeah.
smooth table on top. It's amazing. And now, so you take the base, so you made that,
Yeah.
and now the whole point is that can function and be placed on top of another table.
Exactly. So the whole point of this was you don't need to now build legs and build a frame and do the thing. Whatever table you had currently sitting in your space outside,
Right.
this becomes a tabletop that turns it into a ping pong table and increases the size of your dining table. It's magic,
It's
Cameron.
magic, and you know, obviously it looks a little different than the one that you showed there on the video because you finished it off beautifully with
Yes.
some stain, I'm assuming.
Exactly. So this is the stain that I picked that I really love. It's a walnut stain, a dark walnut. And so all that you're going to do is take a rag, put some stain on there, and you can do as many coats as you want depending on the finish that you want. It's going to go on dark, spread it on, and then with the clean side of it, you're going to wipe it off. until you get the desired color. Now, once you get the desired color, you're gonna want to cover the entire thing in a coat of polyurethane. And if you can see the bottom there, do you see the shine? So this table that we have now doesn't have it yet. That's gonna be the final thing that I'll end up doing. It's gonna give it a beautiful shine. And actually, let me correct myself, it's not polyurethane. When you're doing outdoor furniture, it's actually called spar urethane. I didn't even know that, but this is gonna protect it from moisture, protect it from mildew, make sure that this can actually be an outdoor table, and it'll give the beautiful shine.
Super important, and
Yes.
I love seeing how excited you are, knowing that this is.
Oh my God,
going
I'm so
your
into
space.
it.
Like this is, you've got like such a personal investment in this DIY, which I love even more. Okay, you can't have a ping pong table. Looks fantastic, but guess what? We need a net.
We need a net, Cameron.
What'd
Okay,
you do?
this is the thing. I wanted to make the net, and I was buying all these fabrics, and then all of a sudden I had the thought, what about a table runner? What if I used a table runner? Because there's all these beautiful prints and different textures. You could do something like this if you wanted a statement piece, however you want to do it. Use the clean finished top part and cut it to approximately 6 inches.
Great.
And then all you would do is a zigzag stitch on the bottom to clean finish it.
Okay.
Now here, this is the one that I chose to use, and you can see it's like a really cool straw type texture, which is gonna work beautifully when I peel off this painter's tape and you see the color underneath.
Man, well done. You drilled a couple
Dude.
holes in there so it'll fit in.
Oh yes, exactly. So we're using 1-inch wooden dowels to hold the net so that
Yeah.
it is removable when
Yeah.
you want to use it as a table, and you'll use a 1-inch drill bit in order to create those holes in your table.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, so I'm gonna give this side to you.
I'm going to work my way around, and
actually,
I want to
while
point
you're
out
there-
the fact that, oh, you want to do that? You want to do
let's
this
peel.
first? Of
Let's
course, of
peel.
course, of course.
So what I did is we taped this off when we did the stain. So look, this is the
Look.
center line of our ping pong table, which is very importante, but it's done in the natural wood grain. So once you peel this off, then you would do your polyurethane so that everything gets that really nice coat.
I wasn't sure how that would look, by the way.
Isn't it pretty?
It's so
And it ties
pretty.
in perfectly to our dowels and to the texture in this net. The colors really work beautifully.
And gives even your dining table, even when you're using it as a dining table, it gives it a little bit of a centerline feel. So I mean,
Absolutely.
it's totally fine. We got our net in. Is that in there?
Yep, you got
Okay.
it? Good?
Look how good this looks.
I mean,
There's only one thing left to do, Orly.
I'm
A
about
little
to
ping pong.
I'm about to beat you in
Here
some
we
ping
go.
pong.
Here we go. Oh boy, pressure's on, Matheson. Pressure's.
Oh!
It's okay. Here we go.
Okay. Don't
For
let it
full
fluster
instructions,
you.
everybody. I think we should end on that because that was my point. Full instructions. Head over to hallmarkchannel.com.